Hey guys, Josh Carter here. Got James. We're going to be going over the Ranger 198P and talking about some mods that we've made to the boats since we did the last walkthrough video. So stay tuned. Alright guys, like I said at the beginning of this video, we're just going to be doing a walkthrough of just some changes we've made to the boat. Some upgrades, fixed a few little issues, and then just kind of made the boat our own too, like some things we wanted done to it. So, but the few of these products you're going to see today, well, a good portion of these products you're going to see today are either on the website or going to be coming to the website here shortly. So if you haven't checked out our website, OneObjectiveBF.com, make sure you go over and check that out. We got a lot of stuff coming that's going to be in the bass boat market.
Yeah, and if it's not on the site at the time, just send us an email or give us a call, and we could possibly get you one.
Yeah. So a few things is going to take just a little bit just to get up here, but like he said, we can run one quick if we need to.
Yeah, we can run one or two, but to have them on the site, we might not.
So anyways, we're going to kind of dig into the front, show you what we got, and just work our way back. And I'll hand it over to James once we get into the inside of the main parts of the boat. We're going to start here first. So what we did, and if you guys haven't seen it yet on the Ranger forum or any of that stuff, we ended up making our own graph mount for the front, a dual graph mount. You can run a single mount with this as well, but it gives you the ability to run dual graphs.
Or single.
Yeah, or single, whichever way. So, and it's high enough off the foot pedal to where it's not in the way. It's no...
And this is a 12 here.
Yeah, that's a Lowrance 12 HDS and a Garmin 12. And I love that. That's the 8612. Yeah, the 8612. And man, that thing is phenomenal. We got the 9-inch. Which one is that one? The 93
the 93 SV.
And it's a big difference from that to that.
It's night and day different.
Just we ain't talking size. We're talking clarity and all that.
Yeah, I mean that's what we're talking about. I mean the clarity of it is just it's crazy. And of course we did go with the LVS 34 transducer for the Panoptics and stuff, which is better as well. But the clarity on the screen is it's second to none. And we did put the covers on from Russell Marine products on the
the screen protectors.
The screen protectors on there, which I think even helped it even more.
Yeah.
And then of course we're running the GF Outdoors covers on our graphs, which we also sell those products as well.
Real quick before we get away from those screen protectors, just to help you guys save a little bit of money, don't get the Amazon ones, right?
Do not. The Amazon ones were they were cheaper, but they're cheaper for a reason. They're not like the real glass like you would put on your phone screen on your cell phone. And with that being said, it almost dimmed the screen. And I actually have another one sitting over there that we will never use. But it wasn't definitely the same stuff. I don't think it would protect your screen. It might protect it from, you putting a little scratch on or something, but I don't think it would protect it if a jig or something like that hit it, what you really want it for.
And it just like James said, it just kind of dulled it down. It didn't look as clear.
It looked like I don't know, it's almost looking like through your Plano lid on your tackle box. What it looked like. It was.
Did that. And then we just, we ended up putting the cool foots on.
You put the cool fits. I actually deleted the plug going in here for the trolling motor and put a USB in the same spot. So like if I wanted to charge a cell phone or run a GoPro, something like that, all I did was run in here and hardwire that part, because you already have a breaker in the back if you need to turn it off.
Yeah,
and you have a switch here.
Yep.
So I didn't really think it was just something else to me that we run those plugs on our kayaks and everything like that. We don't have any issues, but we also take that motor on and off of our boat.
Yeah.
Because certain tournaments we can run it, certain tournaments we can't. On this,
it was kind
I'm
of
not
senseless.
taking the trolling motor off, and if I don't have a spare one, sitting in my truck. So if I was fishing a tournament, I'm not going to have no way to just go get a truck and switch it out anyway. So I just figured, for me, I just done that and just this fit in the same hole. I didn't have to do anything to this, but just it was more of a. It had 2 little square sides on it. All I had to do was just take a little file and touch it real quick, and boom, hit it, and then ran it to the same power. And on their graphs as well, we ran our own power supply for these. We are not running off of anything that Ranger supplied.
Yeah.
Off of these, we're running an 8 gauge front to back, and we put our own on and off switch for this. It has nothing to do with, it's on its own circuit for these and the graphs at the dash. And if that's something that you would like to know how we ran the wires and stuff like that, leave us a comment in the video, and we can show you. There's actually chases in this boat to be able to run that stuff. And if that's something you're interested in seeing, holler at us and we'll do a video for that as well.
Yeah, I mean, it was pretty easy. On your boat, my boat was a little difficult because it was like something, I don't know what it was.
It's like when they ran the line in here, they kinked it or something, like when they put a zip tie or something on his, and this was a monster.
It was a struggle there for a little bit, but
we ended up getting it. But
yeah, other than that, I mean, we added the TH Marine, the wire cover, you know, for the trolling motor,
and then we added the 2 power pole switches up front here.
Yeah, James's didn't have his on there, so
yeah, so I ended up having to add those there, and we tightened up this on both of the boats because this was like falling out.
Yeah,
really, and it sucked down here tighter.
Well, to be honest with you, my opinion on your Ranger, Triton, Tracker, whatever you get, I would recommend just going through and just checking all the bolts anyways, because if your boat's built on a Monday or Friday like we talked about in the last video, then you might have some shit falling off when you're running down a lake if you don't, you don't go.
Yeah, and also this, when they installed this puck, they just screwed it down on top of this, which was bowing this all up.
Yeah, it was coming apart. It was coming off of it.
So it was pilling up. So I actually, where this had already had the indention in it, I took this off and just cut this part, the material out, and just put the screws back in so it wasn't having the pressure on this to do that. And I actually would recommend doing that anyway, because it looked like they just took a hole saw in the front of the boat and left all the jagged stuff in there, and it had actually chafed the wire a little bit on my Lowrance piece here. So I just filed everything nice and clean and put a grommet down in there to make sure nothing else got chafed or anything. And on both of our boats, this piece was way too long and was hanging over the weld. So I just took and just trimmed it up with a pair of scissors.
Yeah.
And just to keep it from bowing up. But that's pretty much what we did up there to just kind of help things along.
Real quick, before we go much further into the other details of what we've done, we're talking about the graph stuff. This is another mount that we made for the Ranger, which is in dash mount for 2 graphs. So we had 2 9s on the boat. We basically just took those 2 and put them here dual console, so we can have mapping and side scan. Which is, you know, I didn't think the 9s, we talked about it. We were like, man, we might just get a 12 or 2 12s, but the way money is and how expensive everything is, you know what I mean? Like, it's, you gotta be careful. Yeah, it's a lot of money. You can blow it real quick.
Yeah, you can go broke quick.
So
doing that, and then with that, we actually put us a GoPro mount here. That, you know,
it's pretty stable.
Pretty stable. I mean,
we've used several different mounts, and you know, from kayak fishing and all that, and some were good, some were okay, and but like for what we're doing with the bass boats and all that, I don't think they would hold up that well. So
yeah, that
right there is stable. You could lock your GoPro in there and run down the lake with no problem.
And you can, if you need to get a little bit extra distance, you can. It's got 2 or 3 different stages, so
yeah,
it's kind of sweet if you were sitting up front and you're wanting to shoot some video or something like that. But,
but yeah, you can check. Like I say, you can check these mounts out on OneObjectiveBF.com, and then he also put a USB plug.
Yeah.
Right here too, so he can run the GoPro
without having to have power running all over the place. It's just kind of like a designated circuit.
Yeah.
And we actually had power here from, well, we had an open port because your fuse block is down here at the bottom. So I just ran a power from there and put it into where we had pulled the power out from the graph that was actually dash mounted.
Yeah, and it's all clean. I mean, it turned out really good. And these mounts here, they're really stable. Like, we've been running them for a while now. You know, a couple weeks, hitting waves, getting in some rough water, and they're holding up really well. And they're not heavy. I mean, it's actually hitting.
Yeah.
You know, you're looking at what, 3 pounds, something like that.
Yeah, I mean, they're just as stable as anything else. We bolted it to the main part and everything like that. I mean,
yeah, the whole console.
I mean, the whole console would come off before the mount would come off.
Yeah.
So.
But that's basically it on the graph stuff. We got a few other things. I'm gonna hand the camera over to James. He's gonna go over some of the things that we've changed and altered and some new products that you're gonna see here that like I say, that isn't on the site yet. But we'll tell you what we did here. How much weight was it that what we're going to show you? How much weight was it that we saved?
Okay, the runners that were in here to set where you couldn't put your 3700s in, we weighed those between those brackets and the aluminum that was on the bottoms of them with the divider. They were 8 pounds for each side.
Yeah.
Or yeah, it was 8 pounds per each side. So that was 16 pounds.
Yeah.
We pulled out of this compartment alone.
And then you had the rod piece.
Yeah. So
it was in both of them there.
Yeah.
It had that rod stager piece.
So it was about a little over 20-some pounds we pulled out of this boat just by pulling that stuff out. And then we had the piece up front where the rods went in. And then the piece over here that was on the other side for your rods to go in. Like I said, we're going to show you in a second, but like we've changed all of that up on this boat.
So I'm going to hand the camera over to James, and he's going to go over how this system's laid out. I think you guys are really going to like it. Let us know in the comments below what you think about it. And like I say, if you got any questions, feel free to ask us down there too, because these will be on the website very soon.
First off, what we did is we changed this tool caddy because it was the cup holder that's underneath here was offset this way. Well, this way. So when you go to put your stuff in it, you weren't even hitting the cup. So we moved this forward and kept the same screw holes so you can have all your stuff and they actually go down in the cup holder the way it's supposed to. So that will be a product that will be on the site. And then we go into the tackle storage. This is all 3700s. We have a bunch of junk down here, but I've got tackle organizers down in here. Probably should have cleaned this up a little bit more before we shot the video, but you can get the hint. I actually have used some of the tackle organizers as like organizers for tackle, so just so I can divide everything out. And then
that's also got spinnerbait rack and everything.
Yeah, this is for spinnerbaits, crankbaits, whatever. You can kind of see that down in there. And then I got the 3700s in here. You can haul a lot of, as you can see, a lot of 3700s in here with storage on the sides. So like you can have different plastics and stuff like that. This side here is it's the same way on both sides. The lighting's a little off here, but just like that. And I'll show you what we did in the back. We made a block off plate that covers up the holes, and I just took that big old thick plate that they had off and just I actually pulled the tubes out, but you could put that right over top of it and leave the tubes in if you wanted to. But I just figured for me I didn't need them. But
you want to show them like take some of the boxes out, show them.
And on this, they're all individually divided. You can adjust these to different sizes or whatever. And they're like that. They're two different sections. So when we go to sell these, you'll be able to buy this whole kit as one whole, or you can buy like an individual, like you only need half of it. So you can just buy like one half that's just all the box storage, or you could buy the section that's just got this with like the spinnerbait rack and all that stuff in it as well. So you can mix it up whichever you want, or if you just wanted one it's all boxes and you're not worried about the spinnerbait rack or anything like that. So you could do it that way, and like that should be on the site hopefully pretty soon.
But like I said, if you guys are interested, reach out to us, because I'm sure we could probably make this happen quick. It's just we just got to get everything together and pictures and this and that. So that's what takes a little bit getting it on the website. So.
Yeah, but hopefully within the next couple weeks we'll have everything up. Within the next week or two we'll have everything up and rolling for that. Or if you just want the block off plate as well, we can do that. And then on the rod storage side, there's a lot of these. But what we did is I done like the normal, like what a lot of people are doing is I cut this portion out so I could get all my rods in here, and I took the rack out, which I've had over like 25 rods in this box. But I made a frame that goes around, that kind of cleans the opening up and kind of dresses it up. It goes in the hole, so it keeps your rods and stuff from getting all tore up. I actually had a piece of carpet, so I just took and rolled it in the back as far as I could, and just kind of stuck it to the foam with some 3M adhesive up towards the front. And if that's something that you'd like to see more of in-depth on how I did that, just like leave a comment or anything in there, and we can go more in depth on that process of that.
I might end up doing it on my boat anyway, so we can shoot a full video.
Yeah, so we'll do that on Josh's, so we'll do a full video on that, how we went through that process. But that product right there is also available for purchase. Like I said, if it's not on the site, just hit us up. But like I said, it should be all on the site within the next week or so.
Yeah.
So what I did also is I pulled that little funky strap off, and I got the gentleman at GF Outdoors, old Kevin Gunn, to make me a strap for this, so I could do away and just clean things up a little bit more for my little buddy back here fishing, or my daughters, or anything else. The thing is so loose, it really didn't do any.
You could have 30 rods piled up right there. It was not gonna hold. It wasn't gonna hold them tight. They were gonna get tangled up really bad.
Yeah, and let me show. I don't know if this is the same on everybody's boat, but I was fishing with this, and the first fish I put in here, they had this in there, which it shouldn't. You would think would go that way. Well, I had fish going underneath it, because it is like, and they were just popping it up with their noses, and so it was going up like that high, and the fish were going right underneath it. So I ended up just turning this over, which worked out pretty well, which will probably even make one that's a little taller, just in case they get all crazy and want to jump.
Yep.
And we did put a mercury cover on. I've done some little wrapping around here.
Yeah, that looks really clean.
Just to try to clean it up a little bit. Mounted to 0.1. Let me get my hand out of the picture. Mounted to 0.1 over there. Actually, when I picked the boat up, it had a scratch there, so I made a little puck so it would actually kind of cover the scratch. So, but make sure when you get these two that your power pole lines have enough slack in them, because
it pulled the rubber grommets out.
Yeah, it pulled on Josh's. He pulled the rubber grommets out, and on mine they had them zip tied so hard into the hole that if I would have ran them all the way down beforehand, it might would have ripped something loose. So I did go and just do a mod on that, and I actually just drilled one little hole on my power pole bracket and put enough slack in there to keep them so they didn't move back and forth, because they were just all over, and I think that's actually what scratched my boat where the GPS puck is right now. back here, we added this switch right here in, and that controls all of our graphs. It's just power for our graphs. We ran 8-gauge marine wire front to back, and like I said, there's chases in here. Took me forever to find. You're not going to run a wire through this side here. It's impossible to get one from there. You can use the chase that's there, but it goes around to the outside of the boat. And that's pretty much it on back here. We have our own battery source. We're not running it off of our cranking battery. But other than that, that's pretty much the gist of like the walkthrough of the new stuff we did.
Yeah, I mean we just like I say, got some new products that's on the site, that's coming on the site. And then, like I said, we just kind of made things our own. You know what I mean? Like, you know, James has done a few odd and end things, and I got a few more things I want to get to, kind of like the rod storage. Like James is, you know, we'll shoot a video on how we do that.
And we can actually shoot how we done yours on yours because what we did with his is he had a good idea. Is those tubes, they weren't long enough to stick an 8-foot rod in. So
the ones that are in the regular rod box.
Yeah, the ones on the center, because we done away with the center rod storage completely on both of our boats.
Yeah.
And then on his, we took the rod tubes that were in the center rod storage, cut them off, like the last foot or so we took and cut off, and put them back in the hole on the other side, because the ones in the center are longer. Yeah. So, but they still fit the same way. Yeah. So we just cut them off so he could put multiple rods. So he's fitting 3 rods per tube in his, but still.
It's still a little tight on the rods on the left-hand side.
Yeah, it just stresses them probably a little bit more than what we did on my boat does. So as you can just lay them all in there, and it's just plenty.
Yeah. But anyways, what we did with the rod tubes is basically cut the ends off, like James said, but it was really stressed out on the ends. On some of them, like the rods, they were tight because you got that gas shock there now. So it was getting kind of tight to put some of them in there. So kind of what James has got, man, you can just slide them all in there. And I mean, you're going to have rod socks either way I did it or them, because if not, I mean, you can do it.
You can put them in there,
but just, you know, you get tangled up a little bit easier. You know how they slide through the other eye and all that stuff. So. But I mean, basically that's it though. I mean, we got a few odd and end things that we'd like to do later on, but I feel pretty confident we got the boats where we want them.
For the time being, in our pocketbooks, we don't want to spend money. But like, but we're pretty much done, and we can just enjoy the boat now. Like I said, we're gonna have a few more things come out, but we're working on them. We just want to make sure that we can get the stuff that we already have on our site first. Like I said, if you're watching this video and it's 2 weeks or so after it's out, you can check the website, because more than likely they'll be on there first instead of making a phone call to us. But just so we can keep some of that traffic down. But like, it is really, it's mainly just because we just haven't had time to get the stuff up. So, but it will happen very, very shortly. And like I said, if you see this video and it just came out and you need something, call us. We will make it happen. I promise you.
We can make it happen. It's not a problem. And but also too, we're going to be doing some more, like, we're going to have a lot more fishing videos coming, but you're going to see it on our OneObjective Outdoors channel. So all of our fishing stuff is going to go over there. So if you haven't subscribed to that, I'll put a link down in the description of this video to our OneObjective Outdoors, and it's going to be our hunting, our fishing, anything outdoors basically. But it just, everything was getting cluttered with all our reviews and builds and you know, how-tos and all that. So we just want to put our fishing stuff in a different area. So please go over and hit the subscribe button on there and follow all our fishing videos. So, but other than that, I mean, that's it, guys. I mean, if you got any questions, put them down in the comments below. You can also
or any mods that you did that we didn't do that you think are must. One thing that I know that a lot of people did is they extended their rod box. On the 2023, you cannot do it. There is a support beam right behind it. So if it could have been done right there,
we would have done it.
That would have been the first thing. I actually have the gasket for it already.
We already had everything bought, ready to go.
Yeah,
for
that was gonna be the first mod I did. That joker was gonna be bigger.
But I mean, other than that, I mean, that's where we're at. So I mean, guys, if you enjoyed this video, hit the thumbs up, hit the like button, put some comments down below what you think of the boat. If you got one, some mods that you've done, and you can follow us on Facebook and Instagram. Share your pictures, share your fish catches, tag us in it. You can just tag us at OneObjective BF, and we'll come up and you can tag all your fish pictures, all your mods. We love to see it. Or share your Ranger boat pictures. It doesn't really matter. But other than that, guys, I hope you enjoyed it. We'll talk to you later.
And I hope to see you on the water.
See you guys.